Hi, this is a video to show you how you can insulate your house and use up some packing material that you probably get from things that get shipped into your house. So here's an example of a gasket that I just made for this wall outlet. I was painting this bedroom and I noticed I needed 3 more gaskets for the wall outlet. So the first thing, these are the gaskets that I did have. I had some of these that I had purchased. I didn't put them in all of the outlets because some of them were behind furniture and stuff. They seem to work okay, but there's a little bit of a problem because you notice they're not quite big enough and there are gaps because they just barely are big enough to fit the outlet box, and you'll get little gaps, and it depends entirely on the workmanship of the hole that was cut into the sheetrock to make these. And furthermore, if you look at these outlets, the way they attach to the sheetrock, they have these wings on them which stick out. Now, even in the best case, when these gaskets are in place, it's hard to get a tight seal because of the gasket is not being pushed flush against the wall. So I'm guessing that these gaskets don't actually fit that well. And another problem is that this faceplate only has 1 screw in the middle, so it can't apply pressure on the top and the bottom. And that's where you're apt to get a seal that's not so good. You can see these gaskets they're smaller. So I was gonna order some more. I had actually placed an order at Amazon, but then it occurred to me that I had all this packing material that I was just piling up in my garage. It's not recyclable. You basically have to send this out with your solid waste. This is something you have to pay to get rid of. And the material is the same thickness as the other material. It's airtight, it's closed cell. It's very stretchy, for example. Depending on how you cut it, if you cut it, you slightly undercut, for example, then it gives you, it has to stretch a little bit to actually fit. So it fits that way, and it can do a pretty good job, I think, of sealing when you put it on. Depending on exactly how large you cut it, you can see that it's larger than the gasket by a small amount. In this case, it's white, and the wall is white. The outlet is beige, so it's barely noticeable. Basically, I just mark the outline on the material. I cut it with a pair of scissors and with a little X-Acto knife. Doesn't have to be totally exact because of it's stretchy, and I recommend to draw the outline slightly larger than you need so you can cut off the marking line, so the marking line doesn't show up. That's nice, so you don't get a black line there. And another advantage of this is that with this, you don't have to buy any more of those gaskets if you are out of them. And it's also easy, of course, to do some custom outlets. Like this was a telephone outlet, and that's got the gasket on it. And that's much harder to find something like that commercially. And another thing here is the cable connection. It's the same thing. It's harder to find that commercially. The wall outlets, here's one, the switch plate, and it's got the gasket on it, and you can just barely see it there. And it does take a little time to cut these. And normally I wouldn't have this amount of time, but since I've been working on this room, I did want to get these gaskets in place because I wanted to make the room airtight or slightly better on insulation. I did notice today was windy, And I could feel the cold air actually blowing in between the windowsill and this apron piece. I need to put caulk in there. I can actually feel it because it's cold out today and the wind is blowing. So anyway, that's just a little hint on how to use up some of this packing material. You can see I've got a pile of it that I really don't know what to do with. So thanks, bye.